Remember, today is the day that the Matatus, or rather the enforcement of the Matatus not going into the CBD is supposed to kick off. And of course, we did promise that we're going to be following this up for you. So now I'm joined by Abubakar Abdullahi, who is in Ngara, just near the flyover. Well, not really the flyover, the walkover bridge. And Abdullahi, what can you tell us about what's going on? Are Matatus terminating there, or are they getting into the CBD?
Well, Mike, good morning. In a morning that has started with a slow pace. Nairobi being this morning a walking city, Kenya being a walking country as well. I remember this ban was supposed to take effect in last year, September. Of course, Sonko was the Nairobi governor, then postponed it. It was in April this year that Matatu operators promised to down their tools if this came into effect. But this morning, seemingly it has come to a fully fledged effect, Nairobi being a city, a walking city. If my able colleague can zoom into this, you'll see that people are walking. If he can as well zoom into the flyover where I'm next to here at Ngara, you'll see that there's a queue for the first time on a flyover, because many of the people who have used this route seemingly have stopped at an area that they didn't usually stop. This is one of the terminals that Nairobi City says will be used by vehicles that are applying this route, which is Thika Road, from Juja Road and Chai Road coming all the way to town. And this is where the divergent place is. And this is the area, if my able colleague can as well zoom into this location, this is the area that Nairobi City Hall says, rather, that will be the place where these cars will come, these vehicles will come and park. It's estimated that more than 5,000 vehicles are what will be using this area, this geographical area to park, pick and drop. Matatu operators, of course, decried that this place is a very small place in terms of its capacity to carry the vehicles that will be coming to apply this route, reducing the number, of course, of vehicles today as well on the road. What is happening is that vehicles that are applying this route are stopping at Ngara, diverging at Ngara, then getting back to, of course, to their area and work destination in picking people. But these commuters are the most disadvantaged people. In a sense, it's almost 8:30 as of now, and many of them tell me that they are still walking past a kilometer to get to CBD itself, in what as well was characterized by long queues in as far as getting to this place as well is concerned, getting to Ngara, which is the terminus of this area, is concerned. So lengthy queues as well, people walking, commuter crisis as well this morning intensifying. So this is the situation in as far as this terminus is concerned, Michael.
All right, and Abubakar, what have you spoken to some of the commuters just to find out if they understand what the county government is trying to do, and more effectively, do they agree with it or do they disagree?
Well, what they tell me off camera, many of them as well, when we try to stop them saying that they're already late for work, they couldn't get a minute to speak to us, is that, yes, Nairobi County is catering for traffic, and the indices show that the average Nairobian spends close to 62 minutes in traffic. But they say the areas that they are being dropped is a little bit far from town. Hence, they would have preferred that Nairobi City invents another way of curbing this rather than forcing commuters to walk and forging a crisis as of now.
And finally, before we let you go, the terminus where the Matatus are terminating, are they off the road? Because another likely problem we would have is if they're stopping by the road, I'm sure those behind them are probably, like, as we can see, queues are long right there with traffic inbound into town. So do they have a designated place where they're stopping, which is completely off the road? Otherwise, they'll create more traffic just by dropping people off.
What actually is happening here at Ngara is not necessarily a stop and drop. What is happening is that they are driving towards town, then they diverge. It's more or less of a roundabout, getting back to another route rather than stopping, dropping, and even picking. So what's happening is they drive into town, then get to that.
Right, Abubakar, thank you for joining us, and that is the situation. As you see, that is the Ngara walkover, where the walkover bridge, where we can see commuters going into the CBD, getting their way, and as you can see, it's a sea of humanity as they now well, come under the new rule introduced by the county government where matatus terminate before they get to the CBD. Is this going to be another ad hoc decision that has been made that has to be rescinded? It only remains to be seen. But what is evident is that there is definitely not much plan that has been put in regards to ensuring that people actually get into the city in a more convenient way. There is, well, more than a kilometer that some have to cover to get to their offices. And this is definitely going to be one that Kenyans may come out with outcry. Hopefully, we'll be able to see other areas other than Ngara, maybe other termini where the matatus terminate and the passengers have to disembark and make their way on foot into the CBD. It's also important to remember that at some point we did have the borders banned from getting into the CBD, so that also makes it a little bit more complex for anybody who might be running late or who may even just may not feel like walking. Again, there are some of those aesthetics, for instance, ladies on their heels. How do you walk for more than a kilometer just to get to the office? And we're waiting to see how this is going to be. This is the enforcement of the matatus not getting into the CBD. And today is day one. And a sea of humanity, as you can see, basically being dropped off in Ngara and having to walk the rest of the way. All right, and those images you've just seen are live images coming to you from Ngara, where we have the Matatu ban getting into the CBD, or rather Matatus being banned from getting into the CBD. Starts